Okay, hello everyone. Playing another deck today. We're trying new Totem Shaman. That's what I'm calling it because I've really got very good Totem Shaman decks. So I was trying this one which I saw. Oh Guardian, I think it was. So I thought I'd try it out, and it's pretty good. It's nice. It's much more varied and colourful than the previous Totem Shaman, which was very strong, but it seemed to have a similar play pattern and not that much interesting going on. I don't know. I just like interesting decks. That's my weakness. If I'd like the boring winning decks the whole time, then maybe I'd be top 100 legend, who knows. Mag's a Bane of Music, because we've only got about 6 spells in the deck. This is a very good start. These two, I think. Let's bring the deck tracker up. Every time, it just drives me mad. This. All right. Yeah. So, do we want to keep these two cards there? They look pretty good. Yeah. Turn one, turn two makes sense. Yep. Second weapon. Be nice to have totemic evidence in our hand as soon as possible now. And anchor totem, that would be ideal. Do we want to play totem straight away? Do we want to hold it? Could we play it? Might get the buff totem. Yeah, we got the buff totem, yeah. It's probably worth it. This might even. Wow, okay. Game 5 armor. Nice. Okay.
What a sight.
Board before card draw.
This ends now.
Your tour ends here.
Another buff. Okay. Now we probably have to draw it. Yeah, we'll draw and play mistake, yeah. Okay.
Your tour ends here.
May as well keep chipping away at this. Got some more armor. What was that chorus riff? Okay. So we're going to be able to play this next turn. So may as well draw some more. Get another totem. Ah, interesting. We might be able to play this even.
This ends now.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's do this. Just in case he's got a cleave, we've got to be a bit more aware of our positioning here. Let's put the, if he wants to rush in the cleave minion, which heals for ridiculous amounts. I'm going to put this over here, so if he wants to take out the big one, he'll only cleave onto one minion. If he wants to cleave in the middle, he'll just take out two smaller minions. He doesn't have to worry about bloodlust now, but... Oh, interesting. Okay. Menagerie, Zinishh, apostrophe I believe. Flame Tongue Totem. Stereo Totem that buffs something in the deck, doesn't it? Okay, so let's change this into a taunt, I think. We can use this as potential base damage later on. As you see, even without Bloodlust, the fact that we've got 2/4/5s really powerful. Let's hope that one of our big taunts survives. And no, okay, all 3 survives. That's also pretty good. Eyesore, yes, we want some eyesore here, don't we? Flame Tongue Totem, Stereo Totem. I think we go Flame Tongue Totem here. Or is it probably better to put the big minion down?
What to do?
This is going to cost me 2. I have 1 mana left, but this will cost 2. Alright.
There is little time.
Let's go Flame Tongue.
The elements.
Get wide board and get immediate damage on board. Bridge Riff.
Pick me!
Cool. Oh my goodness, he's got the double. Ouch. That's nasty. That is obnoxious. Oh, look at this. This works really nicely. Right, this costs 1 now, so it gets the buff. Manatide. Manatide. Go Manatide then. Or do we go? Maybe we go. Maybe we go two regular totems here. Even Manatide draws us. This is much better for dealing with the board.
Ends now. Take the heat.
Okay, and Taunt Totem is really nice as well. So does he have another set of riffs? If he plays 2 mana, in the Warriors he's going to be playing.
Precision.
Oh, it's not connected to anything. Okay, so that's 10 healing. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful.
I am the harvester.
Perfect timing.
And why?
Just get rid of that. Stereo Totem's kind of useless here, isn't it? I don't have any minions in hand. I went for an Untied Totem. Oh, we've got a nice heal as well, just to put this slightly out of range of the 4/1. And with the rest of our totems, we've actually got lethal. Flame Tongue? Yeah, we've got Flame Tongue as well in hand. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh.
What a sight to behold.
Still get. Ouch. We have to take this out in 1 turn. Stop the healing. How are we going to get rid of the rest of it then? I mean, Flame Tongue. It's getting a bit obnoxious now with all this healing. It's armor.
I wonder.
So as I do this, he heals up to 19. And I've only got 5, 7 on board. So I can't deal the 8 with the weapon. Unless I do it this way round and go for the long game. Go for a Bloodlust finish.
There is little
Or
time.
ROTGILL. Yeah, just do it like this.
This ends now.
I'm gonna hold this out. I'm gonna use some cartridges. I got jukebox. That's not what I'm looking for.
Your blood for the sire!
Okay, that could be a problem. It's only 510, but it's
Make them bleed!
definitely annoying. We'll have to take some damage here. I assume the 6-9's going into that. Oh no! Okay, I guess that makes sense. Oh!
Perfect for the singers.
Right, so how do we do this? Do we trade first? That makes his brawl more likely to give him something. Okay, I think. Alright. We'll do it like this.
Reporting for duty.
This way, 7 minions on board, 1 dies, even the silver hand gets. Wow, he's got the time to do that. He must have a ball in hand. No. Okay, this is interesting. This could be lethal. 18 damage on board. Okay, so the 3 and the 4, that's the easy step. Okay, oh, let's kick his totem down. The 3. Okay, another minion. And the 4.
To battle.
16 damage we're looking at here. Do you want to sacrifice this one just so we can clear the board
Take
better?
the mic.
Yeah. I'll play this.
To battle.
And now we've got the lethal showing again, despite all his taunts. More than 30 damage. Again, a brawl, but I don't think he has a brawl. He was used it last time. Remember, yeah, he could have Trench Stalker, something like that. Bridge Roof? Another Bridge Roof?
A diet high in.
Oh no, not Verse Riff, not Verse Riff, not Verse Riff. Don't play it. No, he didn't, okay. Let's give him a bloodlust. Of course. Yeah, bloodlust goes to him, yeah. Let's give ourselves another totem. That's a good totem. Which you can actually play. Right, 5 and 4. Let's just go 5 and 4 here.
To battle.
5 and 4. Double Bloodlust gives him 8 plus 6, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so he theoretically can kill me if it wasn't for this taunt. If he's got a charge minion. So look at that, I've got 45.
Diet high.
My goodness. That's just as well, I've got 15, 12. Yes. Yeah. The 12, 18 taunt, a bit too small for this. Somehow, totems, yeah. Somehow the totems were too big for a 12, 18 taunt. And we got win streak. Very nice. So we're just starting off this deck, so can't tell you too much about it, but I can give you my ideas of how it's meant to work. I do play a lot of the other type of Totem Shaman. Have a quick look. Right, so Totem Shaman. Okay, so you've got your. It's interesting. They don't run. It seems that people have worked out that this isn't such a good card to build a whole archetype around. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's the one amalgam band. Yeah. It seems to always have the effects which you don't need that much. So, for example, if you need to heal desperately, it won't have life steal. If you just need to put a taunt out, it'll have everything, and it'll have the stealth as well, but without rush, so you can't attack. So it stays stealth. You can't have taunt. I think they've actually designed it that way, so it's not too OP, you know. Otherwise, yeah. Okay, enough saltiness about that card. I've been burnt by that quite a few times. Okay, so even though we've got taunts, so even though we've got totems and we've got a couple of amalgams which can buff up the one amalgam bam to 4, plus the totem is 5, plus now we've got beast, which would give us 6. We've even got an undead with ROTGILL there. So we've got a 6, and of course you could use your amalgam on another amalgam to get you a different class, like a quillbore or something like that, or an elemental. But no, that doesn't seem to be the idea of this deck at all. So this deck is basically your token-based deck, where it plays very similar to a token druid. Just token druid generally seems to summon lots of identical minions at the same time, like 7 wisps or 3 treants, stuff, something like that. Whereas this one's a bit more colourful, and of course you've got the totem synergy, which is absolutely massive. So totem synergies, you can summon 4 totems with 1 mana if you kill off 3 totems, which isn't very hard with this deck. And totems cost 1, so you've got an amazing synergy with Anchor Totem. We're not running sorry, we're not running schooling anymore, which gives you the piranhas, which also synergize very nicely with Anchor Totem, because we've got even better cards. Tool Guide's amazing. It gets you well, it's 1 mana, and then you can start doing shenanigans with the totem or with the Tool Guide. So we can actually play for 1 mana the Tool Guide, get us the totem, and then use this new card, Backstage Bouncer, which will give us 2 4/5s, which is really powerful, even in this meta. For 4 mana, to give you a 4/5 and effectively a 3/4 buff with Taunt, because you already had the one, you already spent the 1 mana on the 1/1, but still, a 4/5 and a 3/4, if you think of it like that, for 4 mana, or 2 4/5 taunts for 5 mana. That's I don't think that's you can match that easily. Right, let's have a look. So we've got Stone Right, which buffs up the taunts as well. Then we've got this new card, which is Remixed Totemcarver. As you see, it can give you 4 advanced totems. There's even one totem which I'm not sure if it even exists. Is it only produced? No, it's an actual totem, right? Yeah, so Jukebox totem, new totem, can be produced from this. So that gives you 2 minions besides the 3/2. So you actually can summon 3 minions. This is a true totem, a token archetype type card. This can summon this, which then again summons a 1/1 recruit. Very tokeny sort of mechanic there. Or it can give you a flame tongue totem, or the other 2 totems it gives you. I think it gives you a mana type totem, which is not even in the not even in the map at the moment, which is interesting. Or it can even give you a stereo totem, which is not bad. can buff something in hand, but really, this type of deck you want to buff stuff while it's on board. That's how token decks work. It's kind of the opposite of hand buffs. Hand buffs, you want to buff up big things, and they come onto the board with bursts. They usually have rush or something like that, or even charge. Whereas board buffing, like token decks, you want to put sort of like very sort of like weak looking minions on board, but lots of them. That's why they cost so cheap, because when you play them they are weak, but you play enough of them because they're so cheap, then you can suddenly buff them out of nowhere. So Seppel's Stereo Totem doesn't quite work with our deck, but it can. I mean, at the end of the day, it's if you're playing a slower game, then at the end of the day you've got your buff on your minion. Okay, Stone Right, absolutely brilliant card. Makes all your totems, which you're going to have at least 10 in a game, I would say, maybe even more. Have extra 2 attack. So this is basically giving you an extra 20 attack for 4 mana, effectively, if you want to think of it like that. So for your curve, you want to just go for your regular, your 1, 2, 3 curve. They go for the weapon as well. The weapon's very good. Yeah, as the weapon, gives you a totem, and obviously a weapon's a weapon, so it can help you control the board earlier. As the game I had just before this video, it was really good against Pure Paladin. There's little chipping away at all the Divine Shields made it much easier for me to deal with the early board. You've got this new card, Magatha Bane of Music, which unfortunately we drew towards the end of our deck. And we didn't draw any Bloodlust, so we kind of knew we were going to give him 2 Bloodlusts, but we needed the refill and we were about to win anyway. We just needed that final push. Any other things? I saw, obviously you want to try playing this after you've got some generated totems, so you can buff the totems which are on board, otherwise it'll just buff the totems which you have in your deck, which isn't as valuable. So if you've got a nice wide board of totems generated by totemic evidence, they will all benefit from the eyesore, as opposed to if you've just played, let's say you played an anchored totem, you've played an amalgam, played a mistake, then playing the eyesore then is not so efficient, because you could have just played that on an empty board and just buffed these while they're in your hand. Even though we said before that, buffing on board's better, but for such a powerful card like this, you want to maximize it as much as you can. Then you've got Ancestral Knowledge for your card draw, as well as Magatha. So we can draw 9 cards using cards here. Gigantota, how do you pronounce it? Gigantotem? Alright. Right. We saw in that game, got 15 attack, and that's probably why he gave up with his 18 health taunt, because a Gigantotem just basically takes that out almost in one go. And of course, we've got our favourite ROTGILL, which when you get to play it's so much fun. And look at that last game, look what ROTGILL did. It literally single-handedly won the game there. The fact that he couldn't brawl the board. So we kept, putting minions on, and then trading off one of the Rot Guild minions to buff up our board. So we had a constant flow of 1/1 to our whole board there, which was really nice. And of course, Bloodlust is your finisher. So you only really want to play this to actually kill the opponent, because we don't have any. Well, we've got some damage from hand. We've got 1 damage from hand with this, but otherwise we've got no damage from hand. So you really only want to play Bloodlust if you will have lethal, or if they're a class without any armor, healing, or taunts, and you're going to have the weapon next turn, then you could get them down to 1, or maybe even 2 if you're desperate. But again, only really plays if you're going lethal, or obviously if you're in a situation where they're about to kill you, you need to clear their board, then you play the Bloodlust as a last resort and hope that you can start rebuilding the board quicker than they can kill you. Right, and this other card, which is a new one, is Jam Session, and this was amazing against the Paladin. Because this basically, he was value trading, he had his 1/1 silver hand recruits, and out of nowhere, I just put this on one of my totems. Boom! Two of his silver hands died. The other one I could just trade off with another minion I had, and obviously gives a nice 3/3 to the minion. So it's basically 3/3 for 3 mana if you include the overload. The overload's a bit better, so it's more like 2.5 really, the real cost, because the overload is not a real cost of 1 mana, because the fact that you get it a turn earlier, that's worth more than 1 mana. Oh, just think of it like this. Imagine if you got a Neptune on turn 0, on turn 1, yeah, but overloaded for 10, right? For the next 3 goes or something like that. So, but the fact is, a Neptune on turn 1 is worth way more than one on turn 10 where you don't get overloaded. So overload is a very interesting mechanic. So it's actually worth the overload technically. Right, so different combos. Well, we explained ROTGILL. Once you buff up the board, and you've got a board to actually stick, then you want to make sure you've got 7 minions on board every time you trade one of the minions with a death rattle. Therefore, you're buffing up as many minions as you can. Like you saw a good example in that last game. I attacked with one of the minions, buffed out the board. Oh, I've only got 6 minions left because that minion died, so I put another one on before carrying on with the trading. Stonewright can be a surprising source of lethal. You've got lots of totems on the board and it's only turn 3 or something like that. You might not be scared of them so much because Bloodlust isn't coming yet. Stonewright can give you that extra 6-8 damage if you've got a board wide of totems, which is quite a lot. Basically like a Savage Roar, isn't it? Almost. Think carefully about what you want to use Remixed Totemcarver for. This is more of a high skill. It's not that complicated, but yeah, if you want burst, then you go for the flame totem. If you're desperate for card draw like I was in that game, go for the Manatide totem. It just didn't quite work out. I had better plays, so I didn't end up doing it. Stereo totem you almost never want to have. It's not that useful. Unless maybe if you've got the only card in the which you have is Think from Below. Maybe that's useful. Can give you a bigger taunt. To give you a 7/7 taunt. Look at that animation. What's going on there? Ew, creepy. Right. It'll give you 7/7 taunt. So I guess you could do that. And the other one is Flame Tongue Totem that you want to use on a board. The way that it works is it's not such an immediate buff. It gives you 2 extra damage when you play it because the other it's going to be buffing adjacent minions have 2 attack. So but the problem is one of those adjacent minions is going to be the Remixed Totemcarver, so it's not going to gain that effect straight away. So what can you do? Anything else? Right, of course, Anchored Totem you want to really only play when you've got totemic evidence. I just tempered it out because yeah, I didn't have much better to play, but and it will buff up your tour guide plus the totem which comes after it. So if you can get all that set up, you can get a nice wide board. If you get 2 anchored totems, your board can get absolutely huge. You play totemic evidence after 2 anchored totems. and everything gets 4/2. Right, it's a vulnerable board because only going to have your totems will only have 4 health, 3 health in the case of the 1/1, which gets buffed to 5/3. But if they can't deal with it, you basically won the game in most situations, and that's basically turn 5. You got 2 anchored totems plus totemic evidence. You've got basically 20 damage on board already, and probably easily finish him off with that. Any other combos which you need to know about? I'm sure I'm missing one here. Yeah, use backstage bouncer on your tour guide, ideally, or on the one of your healing totem, which is probably the least valuable. Yeah, that's about it. I just played very nicely. It's a very smooth deck. You've got the card draw to keep yourself going, and you've got lots to do in the meantime. Oh yes, there is one other thing. Yeah. Playing Anchored Totem, you should play it when this is on, when this costs 2. Sorry, when this costs 2. Right, because as soon as you play Anchored Totem, this is going to get reduced to 1. And then when you play it, it will actually get the buff of the Anchored Totem. Because after you summon a 1-cost minion, this is called a 1-cost minion if you play it for 1 mana. And same thing with Thing from Below as well. If it's on 2, then you play it. Then you play the Anchor Totem, which will bring this down to 1. Then you play this. You'll get a nice 7/6 taunt instead of a 5/5. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the tips I can give for this deck. Yeah, so the general play pattern is get on board as much as you can. Don't worry about things clearing the board so much. Take value trades. Try to keep as many minions on board, especially if you know you've got a Bloodlust or a Stonelight coming up, because that gives you a massive burst of damage. It's probably the most efficient board buff card in the game. Bloodlust. It's like Savage Raw plus 50%, because you get 3 attack for everything, not for your hero, but if you've got 5 tokens on the board, let's say you've got 1 attack out of all 5 of them, suddenly out of nowhere you've got 16 attack, and double Bloodlust on a board of 5/0 attack minions is 30 damage, so bear that in mind. So the idea is just spread your board wide, give it these incremental little buffs like Jam Sessions, Eyesore, Anchor Totem if you do it preemptively, Backstage Bouncer, just increasing the stats on the board, and then hopefully you get a ROTGILL or Bloodlust to push it for the final push, or you just get these mana cheap minions down for really cheap, and you just win just with the power of your minions like we did in the game, in the video. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. I hope that was useful, and I hope you enjoyed trying out this deck. Thanks very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.